Yeah, and you had mentioned also when you and I were talking offline that one another foreseeable option for investment is foreign currencies. Can you speak a
Mhm.
little bit about that and why that could be a good investment?
Well, right now, today, the US dollar still does have dominance
Okay.
over most of the currencies of the world. So the US dollar can be used strategically to accumulate foreign currencies. Now, the foreign countries right now, as has been previously mentioned, they're buying a lot of gold. They also, a lot of these countries have gold in their grounds and oil and different minerals.
Hmm.
So when the revaluation occurs, the reset occurs where currencies are revalued to see how much value they truly have, those countries that you invest in, those currencies will gain value, right? So investing now is a good investment because, again, in the future, these countries have the potential, at least, to gain value by the accumulation of hard assets that their countries and governments are doing,
Mm.
accumulating.
So the gold that they are accumulating now will support their currencies.
Yes. We're
Back.
essentially we're going back to the gold standard.
Okay.
All right. The gold standard obviously has been the standard forever, for as long as we have recorded history, basically.
Mm. Mm.
So entered a we entered a brief time period where currencies were not backed by gold, but we're again going right back to that time period. So
Okay.
with China and being the leader of the accumulation of gold, all of the countries are following that.
Mm.
BRICS, all of these countries are following the same path of backing their currencies with gold and other resources.
Very well said. And as a matter of fact, for those of you that are interested in buying gold, you can go to your local coin company. I take my grandchildren there all the time. Your local coin company is a good place to go because you can develop relationships with them. You can talk about the coins, you can ask them questions about the coins. You can exchange the dollar for coins. And then if you need to get cash, or even if you want the new currency that we're going to have, they call it rainbow currencies, you'll be able to trade back in your silver and gold for those currencies. So establish a relationship with your local coin company. You can Google coin shop near me or numismatics near me. That's a good place to go. If you want, something, I'm going to tell you it's going to be a little more expensive because they don't just have a spot price, but they have a premium on top of the. Oops, sorry about that. The cost of doing business. I went out for a minute. So sometimes they'll be a little higher than if you were to work with an online dealer. My affiliate is Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. You can contact Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company at 952-929-7006 for silver and gold, or you can email them at info@milesfranklin.com and mention that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you, so you can get the best prices in the industry, because online dealers like Miles Franklin, that's been around for almost 4 decades, can get lower prices, and you will get a better price using my name as Dr. Kia Pruitt. If you want foreign currencies, family, put in the chat which currencies people should be considering. But you can always study the countries that you're interested in and look at what type of things should they be looking at if they want to know if this is a good country to invest in. Do you know?
Look at what resources they have as a country,
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
And then look at what they're doing at, like, look at their productivity level as a country. Look
Mm-hmm.
at what they're exporting. You have to study their economy so that you know what's going on, so that you make a sound investment.
Mm. Okay. All right. This has been a very informative session. I'm so grateful that you took the time out of your very busy schedule as an entrepreneur and economist. Thank you for being here. Before we close, though, I want to know, what are your final words, Mr. Lattimore?
My final words is for everybody to be encouraged, right? For everybody to work together, right? Because things will get better, right? Things we're going through a tough period, but I do believe and I do know that things will get better. It's going
Mhm.
to take some time to get there, so we might want to buckle up, hold hands, you know, do a little praying, kumbaya, right? Share resources. I saw somebody mention bartering. That is very important, especially in these types of times. We're going to need to learn to barter and again work together and keep a positive attitude because no matter what happens, we're all going to be good.
Mm,
So those are
absolutely.
my words.
I really appreciate that. Someone said earlier that Lattimore hairline is crazy, bro. They said it's common with all Lattimores.
It's a thing. It's a lot of more thing. We can't shake it. We just accept it.
Anything you want to say about your musical, talents? Anything about music you want to mention? Because that is something that you're very passionate about. Before we close.
Oh, not necessarily. I'll say that I play the piano and the guitar. Right? I've played essentially my whole life. It's exciting to be a musician, right?
Mm,
To be able to influence people positively, for people to because music has a very important influence in people's lives,
mm,
right? Music can control people even, right? We have to be careful about the music that we let into our ears,
mm,
right? Because music is a frequency, right? Everything is frequencies, right? So light, music, sound, these are frequencies. And if we allow certain frequencies into our bodies and are not careful, we can end up projecting those same frequencies without knowing, right? So
mm.
be cautious of the types of music that you listen to, right?
Okay.
But enjoy life, right? Find ways to enjoy
Mhm.
life. And the way I do that, one of the ways I do that is through my music.
Mm. Thank you so much, Dexter Lattimore. Now, I mentioned that you may write a book. I know you're a creative writer, but if you were to pen a book about economics or the economic situation right now, what would that book look like? What would you discuss?
I Yeah, I'm still debating on what that's going to look like.
Okay.
Um, I will have to get with you later on to discuss that because I'm still working out the semantics on that aspect.
Okay. Chief Mac is in the house. He wants to, Chief Mac, I sent you a link so you can come on and say hello to Dexter. He says, great live, Dexter and Kia. Do you have about 5 minutes, Dexter?
Yes.
Okay, come on, Chief Mac. I sent you a link. The Soul family always wants to hear from the chief of the Soul tribe. So come on in and give us, some thoughts about the topic, about investing and or about how we are to prepare for this collapse. And for those of you who are interested in investing in or supporting Mr. Lattimore's work, you could kindly send him a donation to $ Dex Lattimore. That is Cash App. Let me see if I can put that on the screen. Cash App $DexLattimore. Because he is going to be writing a book. He's going to be coming on the show as a resident economist, giving us the economic forecast, giving us the geopolitical news and information, current events, and how we can prepare because we don't want to just talk about what's happening. We want to talk about how we can live, I would say survive and thrive through whatever is going on in the world. A lot of people say, I don't want to focus on politics. I don't want to talk about it. I want to look at it. But politics actually shapes economies. Is that right?
Absolutely. And politics affects your life whether you realize or accept it or not.
Mm, mm, absolutely. Somebody say give thanks. Chief Mac, if you're going to come in, you come on in. We got about 5 more minutes left. Give God thanks in all things. Our trials only come to make us strong. Chief Mac says musical sounds are the highest frequencies and vibrations. He's also a musician.
Awesome.
Um, Answers to 1984 is 1776. That's their handle says, I want a copy of that book autographed by the author.
We'll make that happen.
Sister Janine, who is so good to the Soul family, she is the moderator of our chat, and she's been doing this for years now, says that she does it through roller skating and swimming. Okay, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. She also said we'll be good regardless of what happens. Thank you, our doctor. Thanks to our doctor, our beautiful Dr. Pruitt. Thank you. That was so kind. Uh, thank you, Chief Max says great live. Chief, if you're able to come on, let us know. If you're not, just send me a quick message. Let's see. You're benefiting from what we're both saying. Thank you. Thank you. Now, some people are asking questions about um, us being indigenous. So they're saying, are you saying that all Americans and all people are going to be blessed, or just indigenous people? I don't know why we keep getting that question like we're not one soul family, but go ahead.
Well, you said, or ask the question again so I can answer.
Are all Americans going to benefit from the transference of wealth, or just indigenous people?
Okay, I'll first say it is speculation because we do not know for certain what is going to happen. But if
Mhm.
I'm going to speculate, I will say that the indigenous people on this in this country still exist.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't kill everybody off. Right? They fabricated some information. But according to George Washington, the copper colored people are the indigenous people on this in this country, which we are. So now there are I would hope to have, certain benefits restored to the original people of this country, right? And then also there are people who are not from this land who they have their wealth, as you have mentioned, stored in their nations.
Mhm.
All right. But do I think that everybody is going to leave this country who's not indigenous to this country? No.
No.
All right. Uh, but certain wealth will be given to the proper heirs of that wealth.
Mm.
And so we're right now there's a lot of commotion going on
Yeah.
in the world and in America.
Mhm.
But the people in power know who the rightful heirs to this land is.
Mm.
So that's just, what I would say is
Yeah.
I can't predict how it's going to happen, what it's going to look like, but the government after slavery said that they owed us at least 40 acres and a mule, you
Mhm.
know. So we're the first in line, I'll say. Right? The Bible talks about the last being first, and then what was it? Cat Williams said we've been last for a really long time. So
Right.
at some point, we should be first in line to receive our endowments
Mhm.
and our
Mhm.
inheritance.
Mhm. Yeah, the Empress Verdiasi or Vertice Gaston L. Turner Bay also took a suit against the United States Incorporated and said that, the indigenous people are still here and that they need to be compensated for the land being stolen. And so they will, she won her claim, and the original people will receive benefits. At the same time, or around the same time, you had the farmers to take the United States Incorporated and the Federal Reserve Central Banking System to the World Court and said that the people, a whole American continent of people were mistreated because the farmers, who are the backbone of this nation and feed the people, no matter what skin complexion they are, were the ones who were doing they were doing the hard work to raise the cattle, create crops and grow the crops. And the Federal Reserve Central Banking System would make them take out loans with these high interest rates and then say, you have to do what we say or we'll take your land away. And you got to play by our rules and you got to pay these high interest rates. So when the farmers took them to court, the United States Central Banking System and the United States Incorporated to court, the World Court decided that the farmers were mistreated, that they were forced to sow Monsanto seeds, they were forced to do things with sick cattle, they were forced to do things to make us sick. or either they would be unalived, or they had their land confiscated, or they will have more interest, higher interest rates put on their land, on their loans. So the central bank, so the World Court said, you know what, you farmers are going to be repaid, compensated for this because they did do you wrong. The central banks of the Federal
The
Reserve. So
question is, who's going to enforce that?
that's a good point. I don't know.
That's exactly my point. Is
Okay.
that it all sounds good, but good luck holding the banks and the government accountable.
Mm,
And the United Nations, what maybe 10 years ago, recognized the black peoples of the world to have been done wrong. Uh,
mm,
was it Ghana called what 2019? What was it? The year of return.
mm-hmm.
Everybody knows, like the the other governments of the world have spoken out against America on their treatment for the indigenous people of this country. But who can hold the American government accountable?
Mm,
And so this is the reason why the collapse may very well be necessary.
okay. Mm, thank you. Who is this? Rafa says, I can't help but thank you for such a wonderful session today. Easy to understand, comprehensible, strategies. Thank you, Dr. Kia and my brother Dex Lattimore. You're welcome.
Absolutely.
So the World Courts found that the United States central banking system mistreated the farmers and people all over the world, here in America and all over the world, by forcing them to take out loans when we all have a trust that was created in
Hmm.
our name at birth. And interest rates, and you know, forcing people to pay interest is against the Constitution. So they said the farmers will be paid off first when the United States Incorporated collapses, and then people here in America via NASARA, and people all over the globe via JASARA. Who's supposed to enforce that is actually the white hats of the military and the NASARA white knights. So the white hats of the military are military people from all over the world that are helping to arrest these nefarious people that are in power. And if you go to info, what is it? Info at is it resignation.info? It'll show you a list of a lot of people, bankers, prime ministers, who else? CEOs of corporations that were either forced to resign, they were arrested, they were forced to take out early retirements, all type of things, up to as many as 14,000 resignations and 10,000 organizations in 171 countries at the last time of this publication. That's resignation.info. So
Hmm.
what we heard is behind the scenes, the military is working to take down, the so-called deep state.
And I will agree with you, but I will also add those in power are not just giving up power.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Power is taken, not given.
Ooh. Okay.
So that's the reason why it's the white hats, as you mentioned, in the military, and it has to be a military that can actually fight against these military complexes of the world. Like America has a military, so you do what I say, or I sick my military on you, and I sick my dogs. I.e. the CIA and FBI, the CIA for international, but the FBI for internal. They have their own militia.
Right. That's
And
true.
they're not going, it don't matter what the world government, the world order, none of that doesn't
World
matter.
courts. It doesn't
All of
matter.
that. They've been defying world courts since they created world courts.
Dang.
America creates the rules for other people to follow, but nobody can hold America accountable for the same rules that America has created. This is the reason why we are
Mm,
in these issues, these problems that we are facing today. And these conflicts have been going on behind the scenes and in front of us nonstop. But people don't understand what's going on. People don't know why we've had so many world
mm,
wars, World War I, World War II, the Cold War. All of these things have to do with what we've been discussing today. But this is the reason why understanding history and economics is
mm.
important, because some things that they say in history you won't understand unless you're following the money behind the scenes.
Right. And this is why you say we need to prepare ourselves. We can't expect the government to save us. And you're
No.
a man, you had a church, you believe in higher power, but you have always said this is about Christ consciousness, not expecting a Christ to come and save you. This is a Christ conscious. Your mind has to be right, and you have to work from within to save yourself.
Save yourself from this untoward generation.
Where'd you
The
go? Where's the
Bible, save yourself. The Bible says to save yourself from this untoward generation.
mm,
So we can look to God or the higher power or whatever you consider to be the higher power, and that's great. But God does not help those who don't help themselves.
ooh, okay. Thank
Just to
you.
say,
And how
we
does
had better it again. If you don't want to prepare, then accept whatever consequences happen, and
mm,
expecting the government, expecting President Trump, expecting anybody, the Democrats, the Republicans, anybody to save you is a bit foolish.
what about the white hats of the military and the Nassau White Knights and the Galactic Federation and all the beings that
Good luck. Not saying that it won't happen, but you don't know when.
that's
It's
true.
not something that you want to hold your breath on. It's not something that you better don't wait on Jasara to pay your rent. You
He's
see what
been
I'm
telling me
saying?
this for a long time. Yes, yes, yes.
That's all I'm saying. Let's be practical.
Okay.
Wishing for things is great. Hoping and expecting things to be great in the future, wonderful. But let's be practical. Let's be realistic based on what has already happened in the recent past,
Hmm.
not something that we expect that we haven't seen before.
I
Because,
appreciate you saying that. Go ahead.
yeah, well, I mean, it's great to want something, but if you've never seen it, you can't expect it.
Mm.
Everybody in the world, I'm sure, if you ask them, do you want utopia? I'll say the vast majority of them will say it. What does it look like?
Mm.
And how are we going to reach that? So if we can't have utopia, can we at least be practical on some things that we can agree on and disagree? We shouldn't, we some things we can do, some things we can work on. Other things is just a bit unrealistic. And we need to lower our expectations especially for the government. I don't
People
know
get
what.
mad. People get mad at you when you say lower your expectations.
Well, I mean, you can want something, but if you expecting, don't expect too much because if it don't happen, you looking like the fool.
That's right.